What's up, YouTube? FXFB NYC here, and today is the video on Dougz Custom's Bullitt fairing, the review video that I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for. So here we go. I'm gonna give it my best shot. So the reason why I went with the Dougz Customs Bullitt fairing was because initially I wanted to keep my stock headlight. I get a lot of questions on social media, I get a lot of questions on YouTube, and sometimes I even get some hate. You know, there's always going to be some haters. And so yeah, so the stock headlight, not many people like it, some people love it, and then there's people in the middle like me. So one thing I want to highlight about this fairing. First, I want to shout out Doug from Dougz Customs. I've had nothing but good experience with Doug, and I really do speak highly of him because he's amazing at his craft, and I want to commend him for that. And this is going to be probably the most honest review that you'll find on YouTube about the fairing. He's not paying me to say any of these things. He's not sponsoring the video, but more or less I just wanted to do a video on the fairing because I get a lot of questions about it, and I know I recently uploaded one in my video, which I'll put up in the corner. I dropped that in the mods list, but this is more a review strictly on the fairing itself, and having it for quite some time now, putting in over 2,000 miles with the fairing. So yeah, guys, let's get to it. So yeah, I initially put up the fairing in the mods list, and the first thing I want to talk about the fairing is the design. Now, to me, I really do like the design of the fairing. I like the fact that Doug was able to be the first one to retain the rectangular headlight. Some people say square, some people say oval, some people say it looks like Alien from Aliens vs. Predator, or Aliens the movies. But me, I like it. I like the shape. I like the design. It kind of brings a little bit more of a rounder profile to the front end, because the front end is kind of it's very square. You know, you got a square fender in the front. The headlight itself is squarish or rectangular, and the shape of the fairing gives that sense of roundness and aerodynamic to this bike. And yeah, it's one of the reasons why I went with this fairing. I really do like it. And like I said, the design is second to none. I like the fit and finish, which is my second point. Fit and finish. Now, the fit and finish for the fairing is pretty good. So yeah, so fit and finish is second to none. Where Doug chose to mount his bolts and nuts to this kit, and how he extended the headlight is second to none. I really like the bracket he made, the bracketry is pretty high quality. You can tell right out the box that you got a quality piece, and you spent the money to get this this fairing, which it's not cheap. But at the end of the day, most of the fairings in the market are priced similarly around this price point, which is, I think, like, if I remember off the top of my head, it was like $500 or like $600 around that area. So that's the nature of the game. That's the environment of the fairings. That's more or less the price range that they're in. And so yeah, that's the next topic the next point that I want to get to is the price point. Now, initially when I wanted to get a fairing, it was either convert the stock headlight to a traditional round profile 5 3/4 of an inch round headlight, or keep the stock headlight. Now, don't get me wrong, and this is brutally honest of me to say, but a part of me still doesn't like the headlight. I mean, I like it to an extent. Now, the extent of that portion of the opinion is, I feel like the rectangular light does give it that character, which I mentioned in the mod video. It does give that factor of, oh hey, this bike is not traditional, it's not a normal Harley, it's not, you know, the same as every other bike, and then it's not trying to be any other bike, it's trying to be its own bike. So for me, that's more or less why I went that route, and that's why I felt like, you know what, let me give this headlight a shot. And so yeah, that's something that you got to kind of live with. I feel like if you don't like the rectangular light, then just swap it out immediately for a round conversion kit, and ultimately don't look back, because I really do appreciate Doug for putting out this product, but the stock headlight is only so bright, and being bright and being seen on a motorcycle is something that you actually need to pay attention to. My fourth point, besides price point, and this following price point, is the amount of likes or the amount of hates that you're gonna get on social media. Now, every post, it's whether it's my post, BK Low, NYDC post, anybody that I'm in a picture, it's always something that stands out, and it's always something that draws some type of controversy, whether it's love or hate. And realistically, sometimes it does get annoying, and it kind of just does the headlight really warrant whether or not you're willing to deal with that negative outlook on the headlight? Like, is this fairing enough for you to like warrant the fact that you will get some haters, obviously, like anything, and you will get some people who love it? And so if you're okay with having to warrant that to yourself, that it's okay to be different, then by all means do it. If it's not okay for you and you feel like you need to go for a round headlight, then by all means go for it. Because if you've seen in my videos, and I rave about this fairing, But sometimes, not gonna lie, like, I kind of wish I had a round headlight because I want to go a little bit brighter. And if I do ever swap out this fairing, it will be missed, and it's been on my bike for quite some time now. If I do sell this fairing, it's going to be purely for the reason that I want to get a brighter headlight, and I want to put something a little bit more traditional so that it can fit and look a certain way. It can look like that traditional Harley, which sometimes I kind of miss about the front end of this bike. So it's always a constant battle sometimes with me. I do love it, but sometimes it is difficult to be okay with something untraditional, if that makes any sense. And now, the last point, which I spoke to Doug about it, and he's, like I said, his customer service and his hospitality on the issue is second to none. And huge shout out to Doug. In my videos, which I get a comment on the videos all the time, is what's that rattling noise, or wow, it sounds like metal contact, or something to those effect. And this fairing has like a dashboard in it, like a headlight dash. And right now I don't have that dash installed. I took it out because I put my Plex audio kit in, and the reason why I took it out was because the Plex audio didn't fit that well with it in it. If that makes any sense, it was like touching, and it was interfering with the bracketry that it has going on. So essentially, to run the Plex audio in this, which I was thinking about toying around with doing a video about it. I'm not sure if there's any interest, but when it comes to the Plex audio, which this is a universal kit in this fairing, it is not 100% plug and play, especially with this fairing. With this fairing, you need to remove that dash, and you need to install it essentially to Plex's directions, and you have to remove the whole Dougz fairing to put this in, because the way that this works, the Plex audio, is if I don't know if you guys can see, but down here near my bars there's a clamp, and on most Dyna models or Softail models, I'm not sure if they work on Softails, the older ones, but on the other Softail models and Dyna models, they go underneath the bars, under the triple tree. Now, with the Dougz fairings, that is not possible, because you have your headlight extension kit, or your headlight extension pieces there. So for this, you kind of have to just wedge them in between the triple trees here and the bars, which it's not a big issue, but it's something to think about, because it's not completely 100% plug and play. You do have to remove the fairing and such, and you know, that's something, if you want to deal with, you kind of have to worry about. And as someone like me who likes completely 100 plug and play, which absolutely nothing's completely 100% plug and play, is something you should think about. And so yeah, that's where that came from, that rattling issue, to address that formally in a video, because I have a lot of people who, you know, I addressed it on the comments, but I guess they don't ever go back to read them, or, you know, I just more or less wanted to actually formally introduce them in this video, because I'm talking specifically about the Dougz Custom Bullitt fairing. So that's kind of that when it comes to the rattling issue. Now, one caveat as well when it comes to that. It could also be the fact that I must have installed something wrong. It could have been installation error. But in my experience, I've done quite a bit of things, and I've turned a couple wrenches in my time, and I don't think that was me. I think that more or less the issue is just the hardware that was supplied with the kit, that it didn't work well with my bike, I guess, in particular, or just it just didn't work for me. Now, another thing that I do want to address about this fairing that I kind of like, but I also kind of hate, the 5-up windshield. Now, the 5-up windshield is optional with the Dougz Custom Fairing. You don't have to order it, you don't have to get it. And with this windshield, I do like it, but I do wish that it was a little bit taller, or had options to be a little bit shorter, vice versa. That's really the only thing I have issue with that. I mean, it's not really an issue, it's more of a nitpick, because I like the ability to have options, and I like the ability to you know, have hopefully some input on Doug's, you know, available options to him later, and maybe another customer, you know, doesn't have the outlet that I have, and like YouTube, and hopefully he'll watch this video and take what I say kind of with a grain of salt, because it's by no means a bad fairing or a great super the best fairing in the world. It is what it is. It's the fairing for me at the time, at this moment. This is the fairing for me, and that's what matters, because I'm still out here getting in these miles with the NYDC boys, with my club, and so it's something that I really do like about my bike at the moment. As I hope I opened up your eyes a little bit and gave you some insight on this fairing. Out of 10, I would have to give this fairing 8 out of 10 if I had to use a 10 scale. Easy installation, fantastic instructions, fantastic customer service from Doug, fantastic fit and finish. Not much cons to the fairing, to be honest. It's pretty good, and like I said, the only cons are just personal things for me that it's just something to think about in terms of upgrading, and whether or not you want more light output, and you're kind of limited to your stock light when it comes to this, unless the aftermarket comes out with a stock light that will you know, be essentially the same as a stock shape, but not just brighter, or the design a little bit different, or you know, maybe a blacked out lens or something to that effect. Truth be told, if you're on the market and you're thinking about getting it, watch this video, like, comment, subscribe, and if you don't already know, now you know. Dougz Custom's Bullitt Fairing, Dougz Custom's Bullitt Fairing, and FXFB NYC is out. Catch you later, guys.